Hey, Real, what's going on? It's your boy Robert Bass for Real Class Clown Comedy. Today, I want to talk to you about this whole R. Kelly scandal. Now, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, I'll give you a brief detail. Basically, what has come out yesterday, or probably within the last week or so, is that supposedly Robert Kelly is running a sex cult. Now, supposedly he has two locations, his residency in Chicago as well as his residence in Atlanta. And in each house, he's supposedly holding six girls against their will, brainwashing them and manipulating them. When the story broke, I was about to jump all over it like a fat person at an all-you-can-eat buffet. But I'm glad I waited because some things came out that made me think about things differently. Like, maybe this ain't as bad as we trying to make it out to be. Like, maybe we're still holding the whole peace scandal against him. See, one thing that came out was one of the young ladies did an interview, I believe, with TMZ, and what she stated was that these allegations aren't true. We're not being held against our will. We're not being brainwashed nor manipulated. Now, I want to dive into that just for a little bit. You have to understand, these allegations is stating that R. Kelly is controlling everything and every aspect of their life, from what they eat to where they wear to where they go. Now, I know some women out there be like, bitch, I wish she would. And realistically speaking, you probably do wish he would because he's paying for the whole thing. Now, I know you're saying, but still, I like my freedom, I like my independence. But you also have to take in consideration there's one young lady in your circle that you know just as well as I know would do anything for a supersized number 3 at McDonald's. So at least these hoes getting some kind of fringe benefits out of this. As a side note, this also goes to show that old R&B is better than new R&B. And why is that? Because R. Kelly has just inadvertently proved that Chris Brown is wrong. Sometimes these hoes can be loyal. Anyway, back to the story. The thing that I find more interesting is how this story was broke. Parents as well as former members of his inner circle. Now I'm gonna start off with the parent thing. Why? Because I'm a parent. And I do realize that sometimes our kids do things that we don't like nor agree with. And once they become adults, it's nothing that we can do about it. And I think at this point, what the family members did was they threw something against the wall and hoped that something would stick. Theoretically speaking, because these ladies are of age, R. Kelly hasn't done anything wrong, especially since you can't prove that he's holding them against their will. So what you do is you throw out the allegations, hope that because of his past, someone digs deeper into the story, and then they find something that they can hold him accountable for. Well, if that's the case and he is doing something wrong, then I hope he get caught. But if it's not, the next time you see your daughter, you might want to not fire from her. And the other aspect was former members of his inner circle. Now, if you black like I'm black, you know former means, bitch, you was fired. Now, I know what you're saying. No, it said members of his inner circle. Okay, that means we're not friends no more, which still means, bitch, you was fired. Now, the only thing that I can think of is this. 9 times out of 10, this is someone who either A, at one point worked for R. Kelly and got fired, or B, was a friend of R. Kelly, disagreed with the things that R. Kelly was doing, and then got shunned. Now, let me stop for a little history lesson. Why? Because I know a lot of people are probably thinking, wait a minute, R. Kelly ain't had a hit in a while. So how would R. Kelly have the type of money to have a place in Chicago and a place in Atlanta? Well, if you know your music history, then you would know that R. Kelly is a prolific songwriter, which basically means that there are some songs that you liked, loved, even put on your playlist that you didn't even realize R. Kelly wrote them because they were sung by somebody else. And if you know anything about music, you know after the record label, the people that get paid the most and the quickest are the songwriters and producers, to which R. Kelly is both a songwriter and a producer. Not to mention, lastly, R. Kelly is still touring. I know. I saw him about 3 years ago at Jazz in the Gardens in Miami. But that's neither here nor there. That just shows how he could fund this so-called sex cult. Now, back to my story. With that being said, I also believe that art sometimes imitates life. Down Low, Contagious. See, both of those songs talked about him sleeping with somebody else's woman. And I'm thinking that this is what happened with this former member of his inner circle. 9 times out of 10, That's probably what happened. R. Kelly started snaking his girl. What he did was he went to her parents and was like, listen, I wanted to tell you a long time ago, but I didn't really know how to. But R. Kelly got a brothel of hoes, and your daughter is one of them hoes. See, you got to understand something. Whether you like R. Kelly or not, you go to any get together, especially around the time when it's getting ready to wind down, and throwing that R. Kelly, my mind's telling me no, but my body is telling me yeah. Whew. Boy, it's gonna start a fire. I'm telling you right now, I want to stop this recording and go on in there and get a girl a little 1-2-1-2. That's probably how long it's gonna last, but that's neither here nor there. And somewhere, even though I ain't singing like R. Kelly, it's a young lady that just watched that and got a little moist. See, R. Kelly is the king of R&B. R&B. So the question is, how would you have to manipulate somebody who would want to be around you? You don't. So I do personally believe that these women are there by their own free will. In conclusion, you may not like him, but you got to let him live. And look at it this way. At least they not underage. Hey, I'm your boy Robert Bass for World Class Clown Comedy. Thank you and good night.